Hello, my name is Liz and welcome to my channel. This is the first day and the first episode of a channel that I'm calling the Sober Creative. And so I've never done this before, and so I wanted to launch this. And I stopped here. I am in the Midwest, and part of the thought of this channel was based on the journey of a person who is sober and working through a life of creativity. So I have a gallery. I finally got one, and it's in a small town, and so I was looking around on the internet one day for just sort of like a daily reading or something like that to kind of work through some of the things that I do in my sober journey. I am in AA, but I thought that I couldn't find anything exactly that hit right, so I decided to do this on my own. Now, this isn't like specific to AA or anything like that. It actually is going to try to intertwine some of the artwork that I do, some little tales and thoughts about the little town that I live in southwest Wisconsin, in the Driftless area, and just some daily readings or some readings every couple of days regarding some of the topics that I either work with or struggle with, being sober and having a creative mind, and even for people who just are trying to stay sober. First of all, I do not want to become the face of AA, but I will highly recommend, if you're struggling with it at some point, to surrender to that, because ultimately, for me anyways, that really started my life all in my sober life, and it really gave me a step up. And I had been through so many different ways of trying to stay sober, I cannot even begin to explain. So with this first episode, I drove to Dubuque, and I'm actually on the Mississippi River, and I'm actually at Julian Dubuque's monument here in Dubuque, Iowa. I can't quite explain why I wanted to be here. I'm a fanatic about the Driftless area, and I'm a fanatic about the Mississippi River, and a lot of working through my sober journey and my journey in general has been around this area, and I have such a deep and profound respect for this area. The Midwest, I consider myself a Midwest person. I'm not a coast person. I'm exclusively here in the Midwest. And so I thought I'd do just bits and pieces about what it's like to be here, to live in this world, and work with sobriety. And then I can also encompass some of the things, like I had said, some of the projects that I work on. And just some small little dramas that go on in the little town that I live in. And the little town's name is Mineral Point, Wisconsin. I found it. It's actually an art enclave, and it's been that way on and off since the 1930s. And I've really enjoyed living there. So, in any case, I thought I'd answer that. Incidentally, this is storming, and so I thought I'd catch into my car before I got into the rain. But yeah, so that's kind of the general overall idea about what I would like to start as a channel. And I do think that there are people in the world who are struggling like I did. Maybe they will, maybe they won't find something in AA for them, but maybe, setting up just sort of a channel that kind of has a daily saying or a daily meditation, and just some of the topics that I go through as I work through my journey as a sober creative person. Just quickly, my background. I'm over 17 years without a drink. And it took me a couple of false tries And then I finally actually ended up surrendering, going into AA, which, like I said, it helped me out immensely. But I do want to be careful because I don't want to become the face of AA, because sobriety is it's a very delicate and fragile thing, and it requires daily work. Once I think the obsession to whatever it is that you're addicted to kind of gets removed, which may take some time, you have to kind of maintain a lifestyle choice, and that requires changing decisions in your life that may be very difficult. It may require a complete transition of people in your life, daily dramas, daily regimens that you're used to. One of the common comments in AA that I heard early on was, everything changes when everything changes, and nothing changes when nothing changes. So I was very frightened in the beginning of stepping into a world of the unknown. That was really, initially it was like, oh my God, I'm never gonna drink again. I'm never gonna have a good time. And I was very frightened about that. I didn't want to get stuck in something and think about the word forever. But one of the things that AA did tell me, and I've used it for many other things, not just for drinking, but it's staying in the day. Staying in the day, meaning that just one day at a time. Everything. Losses, deaths, addiction to sugar, divorce. When you come upon things in your life that seem so beyond surviving, taking it a little bit at a time has been a monumental experience for me. When I was able to just kind of take it an hour at a time, and then take it a day at a time, then take it a week at a time, and being able to forgive myself when I fall, but at the same time, not just forgiving myself, but getting back up and starting all over again and doing exactly what that was, not just giving up and saying F it. So I think in the beginning, these are all important aspects of what happened to me in the beginning of my sobriety. And the other thing too is, for any of you who have a creative background, and a lot of us who struggle with any form of addiction have creative backgrounds, I thought that was over, and it wasn't. My life did change dramatically when I decided to make that decision and set upon, a sobriety date and start moving forward and doing the things that were suggested. But one of the things that I thought I would lose, aside from the drinking, and aside from the romance of alcohol, and aside from the marriage, and aside from all the booze buddies that I'd had and all the good times that I thought I'd lose, most importantly, I thought what I would lose was my creativity, because I had spent so much time in my addiction and working on things, or the lack thereof working on things, or the dreams and ideas that would come across my mind when I was drinking, and I thought I would lose that forever. Unfortunately for me, in that time when I first got sober, I had to make the decision to stay sober in order to stay alive. And once I made that decision, and I surrendered, slowly but surely, after the obsession was removed, things started to come back. So for any of you who are out there who are struggling with the beginning of a sober life, and the beginning of a new life into something that you don't know, into the great unknown, I want to say that the miracles will happen, and things will happen in your life that you would never in your life ever experience or ever think that you would experience. And that happened to me. And when I first came into the program, at least with AA, they told me, keep coming back until the miracle happens. And now I understand what they meant. And the miracles still happen. I will say, though, too, that in sobriety, the worst things that have ever happened in my life happened to me in my sobriety life. So, but that's it for right now, for my first crack at this. And I hope you enjoy the channel. And once again, my name is Liz. Thanks.